Oilers Nation every day with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
It's all good. All the Oilers need to do is simply win 3 games in a row, something this team is great at. Let's get into it with the lead. Upon video review, we might be fucked.
Upon video review, I will assume that we are fucked.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we can do is assume. The power of assumption.
I hurt myself today to see if I could feel the darkness will prevail. I'm assuming that's the next line, I'm not sure. The only thing that's real.
Johnny in the room with us?
You could have it all. My empire of dirt.
It's about to be a fucking empire of dirt.
The darkness.
Welcome into Oilers Nation every day. The show's a presentation of Bet365. Hockey fans, check out Bet365's 3-goal early payout. When your team goes up 3, you get paid. It's that simple. Download the app today. Must be 19 plus. Please play responsibly. They haven't gone up 3 yet, but the Oilers have blown 5 of the 6 leads that they've had in this series.
Now that's hockey, baby. 2-goal lead. Worst lead in hockey, they're calling it.
As always, we come to you live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online at sportscloset.ca. Where do we even begin, Liam? Where do we even begin?
Probably the end.
I mean, we probably should start at the end. And listen, Colby, Cohen, DJ Bean, we got 2 great guests joining us today on the show where we will talk about the goal.
And I promise you both of them will have direct opposite opinions without even knowing what DJ is going to say. I just know they're not the same guy. So we're going both ways on this one. But tough way to end it last night.
Yeah, it's a very tough way to end it. And it's the fact that Edmonton even got there is incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
It's another piss poor effort by a team who looks like they're mildly disinterested in going on another run. Their give a shit meter is criminally low considering the time of year. If they played these last 3 games, you know what, I'll take out game 2, whatever. If they played these last 2 games in the middle of November, I'd be sitting here fucking roasting them. And it is so pathetic and embarrassing and frustrating that this team is doing this bullshit at the end of April.
Yeah, it is. It really sucks. They've just taken such a turn because I feel like, ironically, they were doing pretty well without Leon Draisaitl in the lineup, and like things were obviously clicking. It seemed like they were pretty dialed into playing some defensive hockey. And what they end up winning towards the end, 5 games in a row, I think that streak was. And again, like they were looking like they had a bit of momentum coming back into the playoffs. And game 1, what a start! And not to go all the way back there, but like that first period is the only period we've seen the Oilers play any form of defense.
Yeah.
Because if you want to look at the third periods where they've had some pushback, that's not really them doing much. It's Anaheim just sat back and kind of trying to absorb some pressure. And since then, the Ducks have just pressed the Oilers. And last night, as much as that overtime goal obviously sucks, and we'll get into it a little bit more, it's just like you had a 2-goal lead. Your penalty kill continues to be ass. Matthias Ekholm, let's not play both sides here. Like, just pick a lane. Like, be a good penalty killer for once in your life. You've been around the block too long to, like, be so indecisive on some of your decision-making. And the veterans on this team have let them down big time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not even close. And I know you'll disagree with this, but I'll stand by it. Injuries are clearly plaguing this team at the moment, and it's playing a factor into the game. It's a part of it, but it's not all of it. And now here we are, down 3-1 to an Anaheim Ducks team that is led by youth, but has a ton of experience as well. And I think we're seeing it at the moment with what's happening. And the Oilers have to do the impossible. Win 3 games in a row.
Which they did
twice
all year.
Twice all year.
Well, then they're due.
I don't know if we can bring their due into this equation.
No, I don't think so either.
I think they're due for a good game.
Fuck, you'd hope.
You would hope.
All right. Game recap editions of the show are brought to you by Derek Dodge Edmonton. They're under new ownership, bringing a fresh approach, new energy, and a renewed focus on customer experience. I would argue that the team needs a fresh approach, new energy, and a renewed focus on defense. Right now, though, they have a unbeatable deal You buy a new vehicle, you leave the lot with a new whip from Derek Dodge. Flights and accommodations for a trip for 2 to Vegas are on them. That is tough to beat. Visit Derek Dodge at 6211 104th Street Northwest or online at derekdodge.com. The hockey game started great. The Edmonton Oilers have scored first in every single game in this series, and they are somehow down 3-1. But they come out of the gates. Dickinson, great to have him back. Kapanen, what a playoffs. Nuge on the power play. McDavid picks up a point. Bouchard was looking good. Everything, they were flying through, I'll say the first 15 minutes of this hockey game were maybe the best they've played since period 1 of game 1.
Yeah, they had a lot of pushback in their offense. They were just playing the game they wanted to play. It wasn't just exchanging chances both ways, and they were really dialed in. It felt like they were blocking some shots as well. And then towards the last 5 minutes or so of that first, there was definitely more of a pushback. But the Oilers withheld the attack, and Tristan Jarry was really good towards the end of the first period, and they just squandered. Quickly.
Absolutely squandered it. That game was right there for them. Second period, power play goal. Well, when you take 4 consecutive penalties, they're probably going to score on a few, or maybe one of them. I will also add, and we can be pissed at Szymanski for taking penalties in the offensive zone, and we can be pissed at the officials, but I will throw our own line right back in our face. You are allowed to kill him off.
Yeah,
kill a fucking penalty.
No, you're right. Montreal figured out a way to do it some nights, so why can't the Oilers start to do it? And I completely agree. It's just, I don't understand. Like if you look at the Kudagochi goal was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Ekholm just stands there and gives a 40-goal scorer all the time in the world to pick his spot.
Yep, let's
absolutely sniped it. Like
turn Tristan Jarry into a shooter-tooter. Yep.
Yeah, and then the second one, for whatever reason, Ekholm feels like he needs to engage so aggressively towards like the corner there, when all you have to do is kind of like stand your ground. Next thing you know, your feet are fluttering because you realize you've made the mistake, and then Granlund's wide open in the middle and they put it in the net. It's just making life so easy. Meanwhile, like what the Oilers got 2 power play goals yesterday. One of them, the first one, Nuge goal, great effort in front from Zach Hyman. You get the bounce off the defender. Yeah. But like the Oilers are having to like actually make plays to score these goals. And you look at the Ducks and it's just like they're just waiting for the Oilers to make a mistake and they're capitalizing on it so quickly.
Yeah. Credit to the Ducks power play because, I mean, we're a team and a fan base who's sat here and for the last few years watched our power play steamroll teams, and we shrug and go, the goals still count. Yeah. And that's just why, again, the Oilers deserve to be very heavily criticized for this penalty kill because it is if their penalty kill, forget being elite, their penalty kill's 50% on the series. If their penalty kill was...
Oh, my God.
If their penalty kill was normal bad, if their penalty kill was 70%, which is bad, but just normal bad, not whatever the hell we've been watching for 12 periods or whatever, normal bad, this series is at worst tied. The Oilers are probably up 3-1.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it's just been manipulated so bad. Because it's not been good this season. But it got way better. Like gradually over time. But there was that spot in the season, Aaron, you probably remember a bit better. Was it like 11 or 12 straight games they allowed a goal? I think it was just before the Olympic break.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wheels fell off.
And it seems like
But they've also put the wheels back on for stretches,
100%.
which is what makes this so frustrating.
And guys like Dickinson and Murphy were supposed to be brought in to help the penalty kill. And I don't think they're necessarily like collapsing the penalty kill by any means, but it's just like, okay, you're bringing in these powers to help you fix things, but then someone, and I'm just using Ekholm because he was the guy last night. I'm not saying every goal is obviously his fault, but a guy, how many games has Ekholm played? Probably close to 1,000.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's just like kind of forgets how to kill the penalty correctly. I just don't really understand how they've just done this. And the absence of Henrique, sure, I think that also plays a layer in it. Like face-offs are a big thing in there.
I was going to say, do your own research. I'm pretty sure that stretch you were referring to earlier, Rico was injured for that stretch as well.
That's a good point. It's not nothing.
Ekholm and Bouchard have been on the ice for 4 of those 6 penalty kill goals.
Maybe stop playing those guys together.
Yep.
I'd love to remember the other 2, to be honest, and see how they kind of went down.
Yeah, those were Nurse was on the ice for 1, Wallman was on the ice for 1, Murphy's been on the ice for 2. And
remember
Nurse.
a couple of years ago where they just like didn't allow power play goals against?
It's great. They went like 2.5 rounds without giving up a power play goal.
They went the full round against LA. They allowed one in game one against Vancouver, and I think it was the only power play goal they allowed in that series.
They would score shorthanded. I referenced it last night that they would have like momentum kills.
If I'm not mistaken, and math might be a little swayed, but I'm pretty sure collectively their penalty kill and power play was like 130% or something stupid like that. Last season's penalty kill was also terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating on the PK front. They go to the third period, and they score 3.5 minutes in, and you think, there we go. Whew! They got out of that garbage second period, and boom, back of the net. And then Jeffrey Viel, for the second time in as many games, scores a massive goal in the final 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I got a text today from a friend of the show who just sent me 2 names. It's a former NHLer who joins the show.
Jeffrey Viel and Ryan Palin.
No, he just texted Jeffrey Viel, Trent Frederick. Like, getting shit from your fourth line, not getting shit from your fourth line.
Yeah, totally. And the funny thing about it, too, like, Freddie actually had some moments yesterday. I thought he was playing perfectly fine. But, like, it's fair to compare the two because Jeffrey Viel, what's he make? Probably as much as the three of us combined, to be honest. And then Trent Frederick's making close to $4 million. And it's not just him, obviously, on the fourth line. There's other guys, too, like Lazar. I didn't even notice if he's playing half the time. Doc obviously didn't play yesterday, but he's played the other games. Like, he's really pissed to drop. But it was, again, down the stretch. The Oilers were getting goals from Freddie. Doc. Lazar had a couple of goals, didn't he? What was the other guy's name? Oil to the Max. Can't believe I forgot him. We see the difference maker in this.
Yeah.
But it's just like you're getting these guys playing, and then all of a sudden, push comes to shove, and they're just completely eliminated from the series. And the series is not over, of course, but you look at it, and it's like the overtime winner, whether you like it or not, was scored by Ryan Palin.
Yeah.
The game-tying goal, whether you like it or not, was scored by Jeffrey Viel. Mikael Granlund has multiple power play goals in this series. Leon Draisaitl has, 1 goal? McDavid has 1 goal. Jeffrey Viel has more goals than both of those guys. I think the Oilers really need to look at themselves in the mirror, and their best players need to show up tomorrow. And that's the reason if they win, it's because they played their best.
Yep.
Everything else is kind of not irrelevant, but like that's what matters the most. The Oilers stars need to outstar Jeffrey Viel. I was going to say Leo Carlson, but he's not really that big of a factor.
No.
He's playing well, don't get me wrong, but it's not like Beckett, Seneca, and Leo Carlson scoring his goals. Jeffrey Viel scoring these damn goals.
Jeffrey Viel has more goals than McDavid from Lil Nate.
Yeah, he has more goals than Draisaitl.
Yeah.
Draisaitl has 7 points. His line has been really good. I shouldn't have thrown Draisaitl in that, but the context, you know what I mean?
So let's do this now because we got to do it. The overtime winner is like, am I so whatever biased and in my head? Logic tells you this puck is in the net.
100%.
The puck crossed the goal line. Now, let's argue about the process of this because we've been fed some bullshit in the past from the NHL. One, the official skates over. You've watched thousands of hockey games. I've watched thousands of hockey games. If the ref clearly sees the puck go over the line, what do?
Goal.
Point. Like, yes, I saw it. They are so eager to make sure everybody in that building and everybody on the ice knows that they saw the puck go in the net. We've seen it so many times watching this sport. The ref will go bananas if they think it's an actual goal. He comes, puts his hands up, says, whoa, and then decides that the call on the ice is a goal.
I can't believe that.
There's a picture, Aaron, and I don't know if you have it, of where all the refs are when that puck gets into Tristan Jarry's legs.
This is stunning. Absolutely stunning that these 4 guys...
You didn't see it go in.
No one saw it go in. There's no evidence to prove the puck went in besides everyone now is a geometry major.
Yep.
And sorry, continue what you were going to say.
If none of the officials saw the puck go in, which they didn't, they're lying and making shit up. And hey, the official was an Oilers draft pick in 2001 and then got, buried and never played a professional hockey game for the organization. So maybe he's got some beef. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe time heals all wounds and he doesn't care.
Wait. Is that for real?
Yeah, he was the Oilers picked him in the 5th round in 2001 and then never.
Who?
Something Beck or whatever.
Ben Beckett?
No. What's his name? Zach had it.
Yeah, I'll get it. Shout out Zach Lang because he was in his bag last night. Referee Jake Brink. Jake Brink.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's look, I actually
That's
don't think
copium
that has
as
anything
part
to
of that.
really do with it, but that's a crazy coincidence.
Crazy coincidence. So the ref very clearly did not see that puck go in. Then decides he did see it go in. And what that does is it flips the burden of proof.
Yes.
Now they just need to watch the replay and they need to find decisive evidence that it didn't go in. Because guess what? There's no decisive evidence that it did go in. The NHL has fed us so much bullshit over the last few years. Remember the one goal a couple years ago where you could see the white in between and the NHL came out and was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. The camera angle can actually make it look like there's white, but really there isn't white. So like that's not enough to just say you saw white. Last year against in Winnipeg, St. Louis, round 1.
Yeah.
Cole Perfetti shoots one into Jordan Binnington's glove. Jordan Binnington's glove is in the net. The puck hits the back of his glove. Everybody says, well, you can use common sense here and say that the puck is in the glove and the glove's in the net, so it's a good goal. What does the NHL say?
No goal.
Common sense cannot be applied. You need 100% conclusive proof. This, as much as I'll sit here and say, yeah, it's probably, like I'm 99.9% sure that puck's completely across the line, okay? I could say last spring that I was 99.9% sure that puck in Jordan Binnington's glove was in the back of the net, or was in the net. And I could say, I think it was a Toronto series a few years ago where it went off his pad and you could see the white, and the NHL was like, that. I was 99% sure that puck was in the net. And the NHL said, that's not 100. It's got to be 100. And now, because the call on the ice got flipped after the refs talked about it, the burden of proof flips. And now we're sitting here going, well, a puck that we actually don't know for certain went into the net is deciding a game. So did they get the call right? I guess. Blind squirrel found a nut because they didn't follow the protocol that they've been telling us for the last 2 seasons. So I don't want to turn this into copium, whatever. Here are a bunch of things that are true. Was the puck in the net? Probably. Did the Oilers deserve to win that game? No, not really. Is it still wildly frustrating that the NHL can't figure this shit out? I can watch a baseball game and they will tell me in a matter of 6 seconds if a pitch is 1/10 of an inch in the strike zone or not.
Yeah.
I will know instantly. I will watch a tennis match and I will know if a ball that is being squished by like physics, if that ball is 1/10 of an inch in the line or out of the line. I will know that in 8 to 15 seconds. We watch a hockey game where officials can make up whatever the hell they want to make up. The video review room will tell us one thing. They'll say something on Sportsnet, and then a couple hours later, they'll put out a statement that says something completely different. Did the ref not say the call on the ice stands? We have a good goal?
Yeah.
Okay, call on the ice wasn't confirmed. And there's a difference in that wording. That means he was told in his headset, hey, we're going with your call because we don't know. And then all of a sudden they're putting out a statement, the NHL is, that, oh no, we determined the puck 100% crossed the line.
I just think this is very easy to understand. Firstly, the puck probably went in, which you said,
yeah,
which everyone kind of agrees with. The second thing, again, there's no way the refs could see that. The third thing, goals aren't opinions. They're facts.
Yeah.
Did the puck cross the line? Yes or no? Maybe it's not an option. Did it go in? Yes or no? And the NHL and hockey in general, I'm not sure about European leagues, I guess, but it's one of the very few sports where we use lines to determine if what's going in, what's out, that actually doesn't use technology to help themselves.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand how the NHL can allow a playoff game, round 1, game 4, it's obviously not the Stanley Cup final, but it had such a significant impact on the game because it allowed the Anaheim Ducks to go up 3-1. And I just don't know how the NHL can sit there and be like, and Dave Jackson, he's been on the show. He's obviously been in the game. And he just, when he tweets out stuff, he just reads the rule book. And it's fine. Like he's obviously correct in what he is saying. But when the fact that there's a rule in the NHL book that says the NHL can use common sense to determine outcomes of goals and whatever else was maybe on there, is ridiculous. It should not come down to the assumption that something happened. Mm-hmm. It should come down to the fact of we have all the evidence we need to prove this actually happened. And Aaron, if we have the still image, there is no way without everyone who's putting out there, oh, we got to draw where the puck might be and all this good stuff, that you can look at that, you cannot see the red line. Because Tristan Jarry's skate is in the way. And that is inconclusive evidence. And it all starts from the referee who couldn't see if the puck went in, determining, after a conversation with 3 other guys who weren't even close to the action, determined that this was a goal. And as soon as that happens, the Oilers were completely screwed by the system. We were doing the watch-along, obviously.
Yeah.
And I said in the moment, we both said, it was like, they're done. This is a goal.
There's a goal.
There's no way they can determine it. And again, it's not even necessarily about did the NHL get the decision right. It's the fact that we can't even have evidence to like prove it.
Because they're making it up on the fly.
Which is an insane thing to do.
Yeah.
And I said this downstairs, and I say it tongue-in-cheek, but like, how does curling have the technology to determine this kind of shit? But the NHL can't figure it out. There's an article on it right now, Oilers Nation, I wrote this morning. When do you think tennis brought in technology? Like the
Hawkeye or Eagle Eye?
Yeah.
I'll say like 2012.
1974.
Okay, I was off
by... That was
by
the first time they brought in any kind... It was just called the electrical line or something like that, they call it. I'm sure it was nothing crazy. But the fact that tennis in 1974 thought, we're going to actually bring something in to help out our officials, because that's the other side of it that the NHL has done today. They have put all their officials in the worst spot ever.
Yeah.
And everyone in Toronto and New York, wherever they do their video stuff last night, they've put them in terrible spots because they're all sat there being like, well, I don't know, but they called a goal, so we should just go with what the ref said. And they used common sense. And again, they assumed. Can you think of a sport that doesn't use like technology that actually like is like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking like boxing, fighting, MMA.
I'll give you one example.
That doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also what has fucked one of my teams in recent years. The NFL with first downs.
Sure, but they just brought it in.
Yeah, they did.
They just brought it in because they adapted. They realized the rulebook was flawed. Baseball. What's his name?
Manfred.
Biggest moron in the entire world. That guy allowed the Houston Astros to basically get away with cheating.
Yeah.
But he didn't hesitate from being like, hey, like our game's too slow.
Yep.
So we're going to improve it with the pitch clock. Alex Manoah, sorry, your career's over. But the game's going to be better for it. They make their refs look like absolute idiots every day of the week. But they also clearly saw that their refs, umpires, were complete morons and couldn't make decisions for themselves. So they brought in a challenge. And it has been great. Everyone's getting exposed for it. Soccer. The offside one, if you're a fan, is a bit swayed. But that's based off the rule, not necessarily the technology.
Yeah.
But my God, you know if that ball crossed the line or not. There is no conversation about it. And you cannot argue it. Because the fact is, it was a goal. Mm-hmm. And the fact is, it wasn't a goal. And the fact is, we have no fucking idea what happened last night. Because the NHL and Gary Bettman refused to use technology. And they have chips in the puck. Yeah. Your uncle knows all about it. With the kids running around.
Yeah.
Like, how do we have to sit here and ask Connor McDavid postgame if a puck crossed the line and he says, I don't know. Because we don't know. Nuts. But the Oilers don't deserve anything in this series anyway of all this.
So, I want to highlight, Gord, I think you have a really good comment here. I hate that it ended like that. Gives the Oilers management, fans, etc. an excuse to blame the loss last series on it. Because the Ducks deserve to be up 3-1 regardless of a screw job on the OT goal. Ding, 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 ding.
Completely
and you know
agree.
What? Bigger picture for the NHL, the conversation is not, wow, what a game between the Ducks and Oilers. Did you see that puck that barely went in? All the conversation is, wow, is the NHL ever a fucking disaster?
Yeah.
What a joke.
That's the part of it. I just don't know why they want it to be like this.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Why do they not want to help their officials? They have the best in the world. And it is almost like they're just so stubborn to the idea of advancing the game. And I don't get, like, you know, so Jeff Merrick put out a tweet this morning, and he's on the side of like bringing something to help them. And I've never thought of this idea, but it makes a lot of sense. Did you see his tweet?
Yeah.
Just put lines behind the goal line to be like, hey, like if the puck is past this line, it's a goal. So you essentially have a second goal line, and then you never question it, and that's great. That's fine. There's ways to do this, and I just think it's the one it is. David, quick crying. The puck crossed the line. Everyone saw it. No, they fucking didn't. No one saw it. Because Tristan Jarry's skate is there, and you don't have laser vision, Dave. You don't have it. No one has it. No one has laser vision, right?
No.
That is a fact. The fact is, this puck, we have no idea if it went in.
I'm just so frustrated because, they don't make the goal call in the moment. They huddle up and then somehow determine that someone saw it cross the line. But when I look at every one of these replays, slowed down to 10th of a second, you can't see that it crossed the line. So in that huddle, someone said something that they didn't see because no one can see it. But I could talk to Blue in the face.
What did Hut say? Someone put in the chat there that Hut said a good comment on it.
I don't know. I did a show with him today. You think I'd remember? He was kind of on the side of it's did it probably? I think he agrees with us.
Okay, good.
But
I'm glad we're all
Doobie was on.
Oh, yeah, what did Devon say?
Understand how you can huddle up in that moment
Yeah.
and 60, 90s. That's kind of what Nobby mentioned as well, which maybe we'll hear from him. But how do you? No one understands what went down. Even Elliot Friedman was fighting the good fight for Oilers fans last night.
Elliot Friedman tweeted yesterday, apropos of nothing, no idea how they could call it a goal on the ice. No official was behind the net. Yeah, it honestly felt like an official kind of covering his own ass, being like, oh shit, I was not in position there. Whoops. Okay, before we get to DJ, I want to do a quick sound in the room for our friends at Boston Pizza. For 32 dark years, Canadian hockey teams have come up short in the playoffs. So this year, BP is waking up the hockey gods, and to entice the gods, they've dropped a new playoff menu specifically for this run. It's built for the long haul because we're planning on playing well into June, at least we hope. The hockey gods, let's hope they're with us. Yesterday, I'm not quite sold on that, but we will keep the faith. Hungry for a playoff win, hungry for BP. Aaron, let's go back-to-back Knoblauch and Jarry on the goal against.
Do you think the officials had a view where they could tell that was a goal in real time? Because that was the call on the ice. Is that the way that was communicated to you?
Yeah, I didn't get any communication. I thought it was, I can't see it going in. I can't see the line. You can't see any space between the blue line, and you see a lot of, similarly, you talk about the blue line, offsides. There's been many times where I've seen, this is offside, and, they don't have the absolute proof of it. I thought that was going to be the call tonight also.
Chris, off of that, how much do you think, though, the goal call, it being a goal call on the ice, and then figuring out the conclusiveness or inconclusiveness was a factor in that? Yeah,
I guess the goal call on the ice was probably about 60 to 90 seconds after, maybe even more. They huddled and they got to the center ice, and then they made the call that it was a good goal. So I don't know. It wasn't very definitive.
What was your opinion on the overtime winner?
It's hard. We were just looking at it in there, and you really can't tell. I'm sure you could go either way with it. You could say it's a goal, it's no goal. There's going to be opinions about it, and obviously on the losing side of it, we didn't think it went in, but it's tough.
Really strong game too, especially for a guy that hasn't played in a while. And it ends that way. It doesn't seem fair, frankly. It's kind of a bad break on the end of a good night. Is that fair?
Yeah, you never want to be on that side of it. And it's tough to lose that way. It's tough to kind of have the indecision of that, but I guess that's the way it goes. And you obviously wish it could have went the other way.
Yes, Tristan. I do wish it would have went the other way.
I actually feel bad for him. He arguably played his best game as an Oiler.
Yeah. He might have been their best player last night.
He was unreal. I know we got to get to DJ.
Yeah.
But I have to say one thing about Chris Knoblauch. I've mentioned this. I don't really care how he comes across in certain moments. It's not really something
That's my one thing to say about Chris Knoblauch.
I really care about. But that is a moment that you need to stand up for your team.
Yep.
Because you think of the flip side, Joe Quenneville is dragging those refs around the ice by their heels.
When they threw a bird on the ice, his head was about to explode.
And John Cooper's doing the same. Bruce Cassidy's probably doing the same. There's so many other guys. And Knoblauch, did he even yell at the refs?
No.
Show me something, man. Your team is down 3-1. And you can't even yell.
I have one thing for Chris Knoblauch. You're going to get fired, Chris.
Yeah.
You should be playing for your job right now.
Just go down with the ship, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. Let's get out to our guest line. It's brought to you by our Prairie Toyota dealers. Looking to dominate off the ice as much as your team does on it? Check out the Toyota Tacoma. Its standard I-Force engine boasts an impressive towing capacity of up to 6,400 pounds. In fact, it's the most powerful Tacoma ever. So whether you're hauling gear to the rink or heading to an away game, you can tackle it with ease. Experience power, capability, and convenience with the Toyota Tacoma. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealers during Red Tag Days on now through May. DJ being 1/3 of the hit show What Chaos joins us. Who's having a worse time in the first round, us or Pete?
Oh, we discussed this, Pete.
No.
Actually, no. It's worse for me. No, we asked who's more cooked, the Bruins or the Oilers, and we all agreed the Bruins are more cooked. But we should be having a worse time because Oilers fans are supposed to watch their team win. Bruins fans are supposed to watch their team lose. It's not fun to watch your team lose, but when you're supposed to win, it's worse. There you go.
What did you make of the goal in overtime? It went in. No one's saying it didn't go in. I just don't like how they came to that conclusion.
I thought the Ducks scored a goal, and they were awarded a fucking goal. And that sucks. And yes, the way that they called it was insane. Like, they're so lucky they got it right. But that doesn't upset me as much as so many other things in this series upset me. So, like, a goal being called a goal is what's supposed to happen. The team being in the situation they're in isn't because of that. The team being in their situation they're in is because of other things. A lot of it is injuries, and that's lame, but I'd say no lamer than complaining about the refs.
I just think the process of that goal is what drives me nuts. Like, we obviously just did a big spiel on it. I won't go into it too much again, but like, I just can't understand how they can stand there and be like, goal, because there's no way any of them actually saw it go in, because you just can't see it. And it's not even this angler. And if you want to pull up the well, that is part of it, of course, but like, the refs being where they are. And my question, DJ, again, isn't about like, was it a goal, was it not a goal? It obviously was a goal, the Ducks won. But the NHL needs to help out these officials too with a bit of technology here and not make them just be like, well, it might have gone in.
Absolutely. And Pete raised the point because my plan was to set a timer for 60 seconds on today's show and only circumcise this play for 60 seconds. And I was ready to do that until before the show, Pete was like, yeah, the process wasn't good. The refs obviously weren't standing there and they couldn't see if it had gone in. And they just waited until the Ducks celebrated convincingly enough to call it a goal. And I was like, whoa, okay. Hadn't thought of that. Let's do 20 minutes on it, because that's the best explanation as to how they could have arrived at that. There's no way, even if they had that footage in front of them, even if they were watching the replay, they would have had a tough time guessing because it was that close. I think that if they were influenced by the crowd, then that sucks. But again, they guessed right, so I can only be so mad. I'm more sad with the Oilers and the state of affairs and the fact that, to talk about the Jarry trade a bajillionth time, that you couldn't even get a relief win out of the guy that you gave up a better goaltender to get while attaching assets. So I like Jarry a lot.
He was good.
I thought he was good to very good in regulation. So much so to the point that about midway through the third, I felt the Ducks were getting goalied by Tristan Jarry. So goaltending has not been the problem. Goaltending couldn't save them. I still would definitely go Ingram in game 5, but it's not about goaltending, man. It's about defending. It's about taking penalties. It's about three of your best players being injured, and then another very important player being injured in Jason Dickinson. I loved the first shift, but all four of those guys, like, something is wrong with McDavid. Yes, we on What Chaos have determined that it's that he's bad and doesn't try.
Yes.
Something's wrong with Draisaitl, obviously. Something's wrong with Hyman, obviously. Draisaitl is playing through it. I mean, they're all playing through it, and they've all looked good at points playing through it, but at some point, when are you too injured and when are you too beat up to be able to push through. I still think with the way that all four of those guys are playing that the Oilers still should be at least tied in this series. They squandered game 2 magnificently. And yeah, they kind of could have and should have won last night. Like, stop having horrible second periods. Don't, like, I love Zach Hyman more than life itself. You can't take that kneeing penalty. Like, this is the result of their actions. This is a controllable situation and a series in which they could at the very least be tied. So I'm more frustrated with the Oilers than I am impressed with the Ducks or mad at any officiating.
I just agree. like I don't know where else to go because I just saying is like the goal call is obviously just huge. Got to talk about it. It ended the game, but like the Oilers have done nothing to deserve anything from this series. Like Connor McDavid, yes, he's clearly hurt. Jeffrey Viel has more goals than him in this series. Like
Bad doesn't try, but
yes, either way, let's spin the narrative. But the Oilers' best players are just failing to show up night after night, and the Anaheim Ducks best players aren't even really showing up. Defensively, Jackson Ekholm is great, but it's not like Leo Carlson's lighting up the sheet here. It's, again, Jeff Reveal and Ryan Palin both have their 4 goals combined. McDavid and Draisaitl have 2.
Which Ducks fans could say the same thing, though. They could say, man, if it weren't for Kasperi Kapanen and Jack Roslovic, who, by the way, I think has absolutely sucked the last 2 games. But if you say, boy, if it weren't for Kasperi Kapanen and Jack Roslovic, we would be sleepwalking through this series. Yeah. It's too bad, though, that they've gotten big performances. I mean, Kasperi Kapanen's been great the whole way. Roslovic, obviously big in was it game 1? Roslovic was good? No, that was Dickinson.
Yeah,
Roslovic's been good this whole series. Sorry, Jack Roslovic, I accidentally gave you credit for something. Yeah, I think Roslovic's been pretty bad this series. But Ducks fans could do the same thing. Say, man, McDavid hasn't really come through the way he usually does, but that Kasperi Kapanen, boy, that's a bad man. I mean, only fun part of this series for me was that Evan Bouchard power play goal last night. Other than that, pretty much hating my life.
And he scores it, and you look at all the guys who are on the ice with him, and they are acting like they just took a 4-1 lead on November 26th in Columbus. Like, and I don't know hey, you know what? We'll do a fun little impromptu segment here. You tell me if I'm reading too much into something. Connor McDavid scores a big goal in Game 3, and he looks like he scored the 4-1 goal in Columbus in November. And you have the video of them in the locker room that the Oilers put out, and it's before Game 2, and you're like, okay, are they going to be rah-rah? Yeah, they were kind of just like, all right, boys, let's go. It looks like a regular season game. No intensity, no scrums. Like, am I reading too much into that? Or does it feel like this team's like not taking this seriously?
I mean, we as sports fans apply intangibles to analysis of sports because when we don't do something or execute it as best we can, the relatable thing is, did we not try hard enough? Did we not take it seriously enough? And we just don't know if that's the case with these guys. But when you're watching them and when it's 3-1, it's so hard to not think, are they just either saying, fuck it, it's not happening this year? Or are they saying, fuck it, we're going to be at least in the Western Conference final. Like, it's going to work out for us. It always happens. Either way, the one thing I'm not thinking is that they're like, oh my God, this might crash and burn. They seem either dejected or just indifferent to what is occurring. And what is occurring is a very talented team. Ducks aren't the best team in the world, but I thought they could come out of the Pacific, which might not end up meaning much given that they might be playing the Mammoth in the second round, all due respect to the Mammoth, but like the heavy hitters have not been the heavy hitters this year. It just seems like either they think / know it's not happening this year, or that they're like, we're not going to lose to the Ducks, whatever, it'll be fine. But now you're going to have to take the Ducks to 7 games if you can even get out of the first round. Ugh.
Yeah. Second thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say, they just put a lot more work on their plate than they ever needed to. But
yeah.
Go on.
The second thing for am I reading too much into this? I don't know if you're caught up on the latest drama. Coach Chippy has made a skit where a video where he's talking about how Connor McDavid, if they lose this year, needs to go full LeBron and join D Wade in Miami, and McDavid's got to pick his spot and go somewhere else this summer. And usually when outside people say shit like this, I go, shut up. Lauren Kyle liked the video. Am I reading too much into that?
Oh, I didn't know that. Pete, Coach Chippy made a video saying that McDavid needs to pull LeBron and leave and like make a super team, and Lauren Kyle liked it.
That doesn't feel good.
I hate that. But again,
That's bad.
I have thought through. I get annoyed when Oh, that's so fucking bad. Oh, God, that's fucking bad. I get annoyed when the Nick Albergas of the world, who is a dear friend, when Nick Alberga says, like, look, Oilers allowed a goal. McDavid's going to leave. And I'm like, no, he's not going to leave because the Oilers allowed a goal. But I think it would make sense for a human being. I'm hoping this doesn't happen, but it would make sense for that to be something he considers, not because they allowed a goal, but because he is a human being with agency, and there could be a million reasons why he might want to be somewhere else or whatever. That is my nightmare. That is absolutely not what I want to hear or what I want to consider. But damn, then I see shit like that, and how can you not be worried?
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe it just flips and the Oilers just do that. All of a sudden, Austin Matthews is on the Oilers, and maybe maybe they can flip it the other way. Like, I don't know.
They have to fire Bowman if they lose in the first round. Yes, like fucking please.
They're not firing Bowman.
No, I think they're firing Knoblauch.
Are you kidding me?
I would be.
Well, they're firing Knoblauch, but they have to fire Bowman. Are
no.
you not? You're just gonna go down with the ship and say, okay, we're gonna let Connor McDavid leave? Because Stan Bowman, by my count, has, I think, one move he's made. Pod Colson. Did he make Savoy?
Yeah. No, that was
that was just before.
That was Jackson? Okay. Yeah. He's made up to 2 or 3 moves that I like. And the Dickinson one is like a half. I can't even count that as good because you had to staple a first-round pick to get rid of the Andrew Mangiapane contract that you yourself signed. Yeah. Like, Dickinson is the one get that I'm like, that was a really good get. I like that player. I like Jake Wallman, but right now, how's the Jake Wallman experience with the cost and the price, not to mention that was the same deadline in which you traded for Trent Frederick, which I like that trade. Contract, inexcusable. Go down the list. Obviously, the goalie situation. How can you... That's not taking your franchise seriously as an owner if you keep that man.
I would fire Jeff Jackson into the sun and further if I could. I think that guy kind of started this whole ripple effect of like not hiring a GM and then just making himself the general manager. And then the one summer you finally get some money like coming out of COVID, it's like you extend Adam Henrique for $3 million. You give even like, and he turned out to be a perfectly fine signing and everything went well, but like giving Corey Perry the extra money that you didn't need to, like Matthias Janmark gets re-signed. You go and get Jeff Skinner and Arvidsson. Like, looking back at that July 1st, it might be one of the worst in franchise history.
Yeah.
And
which is funny because that was like A pluses across the board if you were doing free agency grades at the time. That was incredible, but you didn't know what it was going to mean to your RFAs.
Yeah. The domino effect.
They're in such a weird spot, too, because Lil Knights keeps pointing in the chat. It's like, they built 2 teams that went to the Stanley Cup final, or Jackson at least was involved in 2 of them. It's like, yeah, there is that side of it, and it's like such a complicated thing. Like, I just wonder if they were like, okay, Knoblauch's gone, Jackson's gone, Bowman's the Poho. Like, I wonder if they just bump him up a spot. It's like, we can't fire him. Like, we just hired him, and then they just bring in another GM. You know what I mean? Like, I could see them do it. Every hockey team in the league does that. Like, I just don't know what they're going to do. Kick them higher up.
The Jackson thing, I want Jackson to get another chance, even if not deserved, because what's the relationship with McDavid?
Yeah.
Everything is still, and it's not good behavior. Like the Cleveland Cavaliers were like this, where they were trying to keep LeBron James as much as they were trying to win a title. It's not amazing behavior, but I think you kind of have to do everything you can to make McDavid want to stay. Although the day he signed that contract, that extension, I was worried that was all right, this is my good faith gesture to you. I'm going to stay 2 more years. I'm not going to break the bank, and let's try to win a cup together. This does not mean that I'm staying forever, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Isn't it sick that in like 2 weeks, they'll have won 8 games in a row?
Yeah, that will be cool. And we'll be talking about extensions for everyone. Like
last night in the depths of my misery, I had the image in my head of Boosh, big goal, game 7, third period, crowd fucking bonkers. And I was like, be nice to get there. Very similar to when they were down 2-0 to LA, right? We were doom and gloom. I remember sitting in my seat at Rogers Place with whatever it was, 11 minutes to go in the third period. And I will never forget the feeling I had of looking up at the Jumbotron and being like, because they were down a goal at that point. I just remember looking up and being like, damn, this is really the year they're going to choke this shit away and the Kings got him. And 4 minutes later, Bouchard scored the power play goal to give him the lead. And I was like, best team in the world. And they go back to the cup final. And that's the other thing, DJ, as much as we laughed that they only won 3 games in a row twice this year, they've been dog shit for this whole series. We also know it's in them to rattle off 3 straight against this Ducks team.
I mean, they win 3 games in a row every playoff round, including the ones that they lose. There's only 2 playoff rounds in the last 2 postseasons in which they didn't win at least 3 or 4 games in a row, right? There was the Vegas series in the
few years back. Yeah,
I mean, famously, they did not win 3 games in a row in the Cup final last year. And the second round against Vegas, but that was only because they had a crazy own goal in Game 3. Aside from that, they were going to sweep that series.
Yeah. I mean, they figure it out. But the problem I have with this team is that all season they've just not figured it out. But go ahead.
They do this. They fucking lost a Game 4 last night. Okay.
Yeah.
So all bets are off. I think.
Yeah, that's the first time it's the first time they've lost a Game 4 under Knoblauch. Isn't that crazy? Every other one they've won.
Crazy. But that's what should tell you that historical stats are out the window with this team. I mean, they even tried unplugging the stew and plugging the stew back in, but Stew's not on their team.
Yeah. I have one more for you, DJ. And I just want to know, maybe you might know a name more than I would, but let's live in a hypothetical world. No matter what, unless they win the cup, Knoblauch goes. Is there even a coach out there that's worth bringing in to replace him? Because I don't know which direction they would want to go. They've gone down experience path. They've gone down the inexperienced, new coach, obviously, with Knoblauch. But, Cassidy's the only one. But the rumors are that, after 2 years, he just, wears down on everyone. And then it's over. And it's you only have 2 years left with Connor McDavid, potentially.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm cool with Cassidy. And I would caution against because I used to do this all the time. I'd get in huge arguments whenever people wanted to fire Claude Julien in Boston. And at the time, Claude Julien was a top 5 coach in the NHL. And I'm like, you're not going to get a better coach, but sometimes getting a different coach works. And it's lame to say, well, they'll figure it out. But sometimes getting somebody else does work. I would take Cassidy. It stinks because I've by and large liked Chris Knoblauch.
Me too.
I mean, how could you not like the results? But sometimes I wonder, is that Chris Knoblauch or is that Leon Draisaitl? Is that Connor McDavid?
Yeah.
So I want to live in another fun hypothetical world, which starts out bad but works out fun. So everyone hold up someone and listen to me. Oilers get eliminated. Round 1, round 2, it doesn't matter. The Tampa Bay Lightning also get eliminated round 1. And all of a sudden, the future for John Cooper is a little bit up in the air, but the Oilers say, hey, we fired Knoblauch. Connor McDavid loves. We've literally openly heard him say it inside an Oilers locker room, be like, I love John Cooper. Can we have a conversation? Any chance? All of a sudden, John Cooper's the new head coach of the Oilers.
Are you allowed to hire an active head coach as a president of hockey operations?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Are you allowed to do that?
I mean, you'd have
because
to get
you're not
permission
allowed
to speak to him.
Right. So you're not allowed to court an active head coach, obviously. But it's like talking to an assistant GM to make them a GM. What if this would be a crazy loophole. What if you went to the Lightning and said, hey, we're moving Jeff Jackson somewhere else, and we need a new president of hockey operations. We think John Cooper is the man for the job. And John Cooper, this would be so like Bill Parcells, Jetsy type, like sneaky maneuvering, where they hired, I think the Jets hired Bill Parcells, but they couldn't make him coach. So they're like, you're going to be our GM, and you're going to hire anyone you want as head coach. And I think he hired Bill Belichick, I want to say. I forget who he hired, but it's like, someone is going to be head coach for a year, and then I'm going to take over as head coach. Do a thing where you say, we're hiring. Life sucks that we're this far away from reality right now.
Yes.
But, we're hiring John Cooper as our president of hockey operations, and he's going to make himself head coach.
This is going to be when we have you on in like 6 days, right on the heels of, because it's game 5 tomorrow, Thursday's game 6, Saturday's game 7. When we have you on 7 days from now on Monday, it's going to be very funny when we're like, Oilers Mammoth coming up this week. DJ, remember a week ago talking about John Cooper as the Poho?
Yeah. And John Cooper has been fired, and we're like, I wouldn't touch that guy.
Yeah. Bolts.
He's available for free, and we're like, ooh. Good luck to whoever hires that loser.
Only one more year on John Cooper's contract.
Spooky.
Or McDavid doesn't
Although
leave.
if we nailed that, how sick would that be?
Oh, it would be unbelievable.
All time.
There would be a lot of like, they leaked the script talk.
Yeah. That would be honestly pretty big to be a part of for the three of us, I think.
Yeah.
Like, that would be pretty pivotal to our shows, I would suggest.
Yeah, we need this.
Yeah, this is big. This reminds me of when I guess the Oilers would win in 5, and they did against Dallas. No one believed me at the time, but it happened. And John Cooper is going to be the next coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Right. I'm not going to say when. I'm just going to say that statement in general.
Did you guess that after game 1 of the conference final last year?
I guessed it before game 1 of the conference final last year.
I don't know what
and
would
held
be more
firm
impressive.
On it. Yeah, they couldn't score.
Yeah,
Dallas just couldn't figure out ways to score. Like, Wyatt Johnson wasn't playing well. There's so many other layers to it. And then it happened. And Jake Ottinger is ass. So there's a big part of it, too.
I fucking love when Liam cooks.
So does my fiance. Although I did get in trouble yesterday for for using all the chickens. But my defense on it was, when I get chickens, from Costco,
what are you talking
you put them in bags. I don't number the bag. It's not in a bag. You know what I mean?
I
It's not in a
legitimately
box.
have no idea what
right,
you're talking
fellas?
about.
It just happened yesterday. It's quite a coincidence you brought up cooking.
Okay. DJ.
Tyler, he cooked.
He did. Appreciate you giving us some time today, and hopefully when we chat with you next, the season's still alive.
I hope so, too. I really, let this, if you take anything, friends, take this. I don't want the Oilers to get eliminated.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I really don't.
Me too. All right. Thanks, DJ.
See you,
Well,
DJ.
something.
There you go.
Right.
DJ
Bye,
Bean
friends.
from What Chaos. Find them on the What Chaos YouTube. He's also brought to you by Oodle Noodle, by the way. You can check them out at oodlenoodle.ca. You can download the app to start earning rewards, and you can also take advantage of the value menu deal. Find out more, oodlenoodle.ca. Find a location near you. We have to do a quick... Okay, I'm so torn on this. Let's do Liam's board. We got to do Liam's board.
I think we should do it at the end.
You want to do it after Colby?
Yeah.
So then what do you want to do? Percentage game quickly
Sure.
for 5
Yeah,
minutes?
that's a good one.
Percentage Games brought to you by Truck Month. Truck Month is on right now at GMC. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to upgrade your ride, this is it. Take advantage of a $6,000 cash purchase credit on the 2026 Sierra 1500 Pro Graphite Crew Cab. It's got a 2-inch factory lift and a 5.3-liter V8 engine that delivers the kind of power you feel when you hit the gas. And during Truck Month, you can get into your very own. Now's the time. Head down to the dealership, take it for a spin, and see what the Sierra 1500 Pro Graphite Crew Cab has to offer. Percentage Game. We'll go quick, but we got to play the game. Connor McDavid is playing at blank percent.
Oh.
And part of this, I'm asking this tongue in cheek, because I think I saw someone on Twitter the other day who was like, McDavid's at 50, Hyman's at 60, Draisaitl's at 80, and they just like settle. And I'm like, we're just throwing shit at the wall. Like, there's no way of knowing. Like, and what does that even fucking mean?
So I think there's a couple of layers to it. One, he clearly got hurt in game 2. Is that game 2?
Yeah,
he clearly got hurt. There's no denying it. He has evidently not been the same since that moment. So there's something carrying. I'll say he's like 70%. Because the reason I would even boost, I might even go a little bit higher, to be honest. I don't think he's healthy. That's obvious. But like, he was kind of flying in the third period yesterday.
Yeah.
He had a couple chances. But again, like, I think he's unhealthy. Like, I think 75%.
Yeah, I was going to go higher. I was going to say 85, 90. I think he's definitely a step behind, but he's not 2 steps behind.
He had a very short response yesterday, if you want it.
Let's play it.
Sure.
What's the state of your health? How healthy are you right now?
Yeah, I feel we're all doing the best we can out there. We're all working and we're all trying to get it done.
Yeah, he's hurt.
That's a blow-off answer, too. I don't know. I felt like if he also could have been like, I'm good enough to be out there. When he flies down the wing that way and does his little move, I'm like, he's at least 90%.
But every time they show him on the bench, and I know he's just picking the spots, but like, he clearly looks hurt. Like, he's clearly like grimacing at what is happening.
Or is he pissed?
I think he's hurt. Oh, I'm sure he's pissed too. But like, the others were up 2-0, and he's like showing moments of like weakness. So yeah, I think he's banged up.
Next one, there is a blank % chance that Tristan Jarry gets the start in Game 5.
Yeah, this is a very interesting question.
DJ said he'd go back to Ingram.
I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest, until DJ brought it up. Because
I'll say 75% chance he starts Game 5.
I have no idea, because Connor Ingram, he's not been that good. I think Jarry's had the best game of the series, honestly, out of all 3 goalies.
Yep.
I think he goes to Jarry tomorrow. So I'll say, I guess that would make it 100% chance he goes to Jarry.
Yeah, I think 75. As of right now, I would lean pretty heavily that he's going to go Jarry, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they just go, hey, they can use the excuse of Ingram just needed a break.
Yeah.
The body of work over the last 2 months tells us Ingram is our guy. We just wanted to give him a breather because he's played a ton of hockey.
And that's fair, too. I'm just going to sit on the fence and go 50-50. I'm having trouble.
So you were 100, now you're 50-50.
Well, I just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I really have no idea.
If you were Chris Knoblauch, what do you do? What goalie gives you the best chance to win Game 5?
Probably Ingram.
I think based on what we saw yesterday, it's Jarry.
But I think based off everything, it's Ingram.
So are you going micro or macro with your analysis of the goaltending? That's the question, right?
I don't know what that means, so I will
micro,
say
macro. Big picture, little picture.
Oh, interesting. What would big picture be?
Big picture is Ingram.
Oh,
so you're going macro.
Yes.
I'm going micro. I'm saying right now I need to live to see another day, and the goalie who I watched in Game 4 was pretty damn good.
Can we get a poll, Aaron?
Devin, I was just going to say, so last night I asked Doobie this question. He said he would go with Tristan Jarry, and that he's had the best game, kind of echoed the same sentiment as you guys. I then made a poll. I also threw Calvin Pickard in said poll.
Oh, don't do that for this show.
To gauge the people. Ingram had 55%. Pickard was second.
That's
and Ingram
stupid.
was third. And I was like, people, we're riding the roller coaster for Connor Ingram, our best goalie, to be the third pick. When you ask, like, what would you do if you were Chris Knoblauch, I do kind of think that because Nobby decided to go with Jarry in Game 4, and because he didn't, it's like the win and you're in. Jarry didn't win, but he didn't do anything to lose that trust or that belief. If anything, it built up here, and then you take into account Jarry is the only goaltender with a contract next season for the Oilers. Mm-hmm. That could play in as well.
Next one I got for you. If they lose this series, there is a blank % chance that Chris Knoblauch is back.
Such an interesting one.
I'm asking good questions, aren't I?
You are, and I just don't have the answers. It's
say gut feel, though. Like, I want you to shoot from the hip
I
here.
think he should be fired. I think the Oilers have been incredibly underwhelming all season. There's been multiple players who have underperformed. And I put that on the coaching staff. And I think right now, I think it is more of an execution-based thing for the Oilers rather than, like, complete coaching issue.
Yeah.
Like, you look last night, like, if Draisaitl just chips that off the glass and out, then the Oilers probably tie the series. Frederick has that moment as well in the overtime. But it's just like Knoblauch picked his staff and he chose to go with inexperience. Where you look at the other side of Joel Quenneville, who's won 3 Stanley Cups, and he chose to hire former head coach Jay Woodcroft. And he realized the experience he needed on the bench. And halfway through the year, things were going so poorly, they had to bring back Paul Coffey. So, yeah, I would fire him.
Percent chance he's back.
Oh, yeah, that's the question. 40. I do think they'll consider the 2 previous seasons, and that should be in consideration, of course. It's not just this season. Yeah. But how many bullets do you have left?
I'll say 10% chance. I think he's good as gone if they lose in round 1.
I would like a new coach.
We brought it up with DJ, but the next one I got for you, listen, I don't think it's nothing that there is a Lauren Kyle like on a post about Connor McDavid going somewhere to form a super team.
Could be AI.
This is a really big picture convo that I really don't want to have today, so that's why we're doing it quickly. But you hear how short McDavid is after the game, and I get he's frustrated. And then you see this, and it's like, I think people are intentional. I don't think, if I'm in a fight with my wife and then I'm scrolling Instagram. Also, Amber and I don't fight. This is just purely hypothetical, of course. And I'm scrolling Instagram, and I see a good-looking girl in a bikini. You know what I don't do? I don't like that post.
No, it's
because if she saw it and she comes to me, what am I supposed to say? And to me, I look at this and I go, "You're telling me Lauren Kyle fired up reels after the game last night, scrolling in bed, killing some time, and went, that Coach Chippy's funny, comparing Connor McDavid to LeBron and D Wade. I'm going to give him a like. That's good creativity." No, I believe people are intentional, and I just think either that is a very unnecessary thing to create a storyline of, or there's something to it.
So what was the question?
Percent chance McDavid is here next season if they lose this round.
100%.
I'll say 98%.
97%. You just say 97.
Yeah, no, because 98. I just think there's clearly a crack somewhere. There's a crack somewhere.
Can I suggest something?
Sure.
From the Coach Chippy video?
Sure.
It's very funny. Super team idea.
Mm-hmm.
Connor McDavid currently plays with a guy who finished second in Hart Trophy voting last season, who should have arguably won. He also plays with Evan Bouchard,
who's a Norris caliber D-man.
Who's a Norris caliber defenseman.
Yeah.
Could win this year. Mm-hmm. Probably won't, but he's in the conversation at the very least. The idea of him going to Toronto to play with Pappy. Imagine Connor McDavid playing with someone called Pappy. It just doesn't make sense to me in that sense.
Yeah.
In a year from now, if the Oilers get knocked out in the first round, I think Connor McDavid can do what he wants. Mm-hmm. But right now, he's also not playing very well. And he's also a reason why the Oilers are down 3-1 in this series. He's been on the ice for 5 5-on-5 goals against, while responded with 2. Leon Draisaitl's getting it done with Kasperi Kapanen and Vasily Podkolzin, who combined make $2.3 million. This is on McDavid as much as it's on everybody else. So if he was to leave after this season, it would ruin his legacy in Edmonton. It would completely erupt everything he has done and he has built here if he was to leave this season. Now, again, if this was to happen next summer,
different conversation,
100%. But it's like, you just signed this contract and you're immediately going to leave? That would be fucked up.
I have a message for our social producer, Eli, and only Eli.
Clip it.
Don't clip that. Do not fucking clip that. That is for the show viewers only. And on that note, we go back to our Prairie Toyota dealers guest line. Check out the Toyota Tacoma. The available panoramic multi-terrain view monitor gives you live underfloor view to navigate even the toughest terrain with ease. When it's time to load up, the available power liftgate makes loading your gear in and out a cinch. Visit shoptoyota.ca or once again, visit your local Prairie Toyota dealer during Red Tag Days on until May, as we welcome in friend of the program, one half of Morning Cup of Hockey, a hit show on Daily Faceoff, Colby Cohen, who joins us from his car.
Look at that.
What kind of car? No, actually, don't say. It's a Prairie. You're driving a Toyota, and we love it, and you love it too. What do you got going on today, Cole? Where are you at?
I got roped into soccer pickup today, so I figured I would try to get here before I came on. Sorry, I'm trying to center myself. Is it better if I go up and down? Sorry.
Yeah, just go up and down.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Always
like Bruce Boudreau.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's the good stuff.
I'm gonna do a little up and down here, but yes, I got soccer pickup today, and so I figured I'd get here a little early so I could chat with you guys and then not be late and then get my head bit off. So that's what I got going today.
Do you want to fight about the overtime goal?
I don't think it's a fight, and the reason I don't think it's a fight is because it's over and done with, and no matter what we say or how we kind of go through it, nothing's going to change. And to be honest with you, Tyler, and look, I still believe that the Oilers are more than capable of winning this series. I still expect them to win the series, down 3-1. My expectations are still that they will win the series. When you blow a 2-goal lead, it gives you less ammo to fight over a blurry situation in overtime. Right or wrong, the Oilers were in the driver's seat. And at the end of the day, special teams let them down. I didn't like the first power play goal, as good of a shot by Cutter Gauthier. I didn't like it, and I have fingers to point at multiple people. The other power play goal, I have fingers to point at multiple people, and they're people that are vitally important to the team. So I'm not going to start picking on guys who make $850,000. And so I think a lot of it is self-inflicted, and I part of me today is sitting here going, maybe the bright side of this is if they don't win this series, guys, and we don't have Edmonton Oiler hockey here to watch, it gives them the opportunity to actually have a real summer. And I don't mean a real summer to go on vacation. I mean a real summer to train. I mean a real summer to get healthy. I don't think there's any question some of these guys are pretty banged up. Remember, three cup finals in a row, right? We know what that can do to your body. So as frustrating as I think everybody probably is in Edmonton, when we did our pick'em, I had Edmonton getting through to the conference finals. And like I said, I still think they can win. If I was going to point at one team that can lean on their experience to come back from 3-1, it's the Edmonton Oilers. But, I also heard what you guys were talking about previously. I think the coach goes. And I think there's a no % chance that Connor McDavid isn't an Edmonton Oiler. I'm not even going to put a number on it, Liam, as much as I love you. And as much as I said you're the Jason Dickinson of the network, and I mean that in the highest and most honorable way possible. And I know you're the one, Tyler, who put up, a 90% chance? He's not going anywhere. It's not happening. The whole narrative, Coach Chippy this, Coach Chippy that. I'm not too worried about it.
All right.
I don't. If he was to leave, it would completely ruin everything he's built here. That's why I just don't think it would happen. And also, too, it's just pretty obvious why this series has gone in the wrong direction for them. I mean, McDavid's played a part of it, and if he was to leave, it would also be on him why they were out of this playoffs at the moment. But let's talk going into game. What is it tomorrow? Game 5. What do they got to do here, Colby? Because it is completely erupted for them 3 straight games, and these second periods are just absolutely killing them.
Listen, I texted Tyler, and I know you guys were in the live stream, so I wasn't expecting a text back, and I hung in there for a little bit, but you could just feel it when they started trading chances. The first period, to me, was some of the more thoughtful hockey that I've seen them play so far in the series. It just seemed like everybody really had a purpose with every play, and guys weren't just going out there and just taking their shifts. The puck management seemingly was a little bit tighter. I think they were protecting the middle of the ice. I think there was some risk taken out of the game in the first period, and then the second period comes around, and it's like, you know what? This isn't fun, guys. Let's trade chances. Let's get up and down the ice. Let's show everybody how much skill is in this hockey game, and it hasn't worked. I mean, this is not a team that you can outscore because they can do it too. And they're probably, while they don't have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, they're probably a little bit deeper with offensive threats. They're a little bit younger. They're a little bit more naive. They have a little bit more, I think they're more confident in their goaltenders because although it wasn't Tristan Jarry's fault last night, I mean, he did what he needed to do. I still didn't like the first goal. I still want that save, as good of a shot as it is, because I felt like there wasn't a screen on it, and he was so deep in his net, okay? And I'm not a goalie expert, but I look at his positioning there, guys. He drops so early, and Bush is doing a nice job of really kind of creating creating an obstacle for there to be a screen. Like, Bush is in a great spot. And so I just don't like how Cutter Gauthier is able to beat him so clean from there. And if you're out another, I don't know, 6 inches and you're up a little bit more, I think you make that as a positional save. But guys, like, when you're not confident in your goaltender, it affects your decision making. You play a little bit more hesitant. I don't think the Ducks play with that type of hesitancy that I sometimes see the Oilers play with, because I just think there's more confidence in Dostal. Whether they should be more confident in him or not, that remains to be seen, but it certainly looks that way.
Yeah, I want to circle back to the penalty kill thing, because I texted you before you came on. I said, hey, can you go back and watch those goals? And you're someone who played the sport at the highest level, and you were a defenseman. When you were saying you're pointing fingers at multiple people, are you just pointing fingers at Mattias Ekholm twice, or are there other culprits?
So on the first one, I don't understand why there was that situation was handled the way it was when, Ekholm sags off there. You know what I mean? He's in a good spot on the left side, but I'm not sure what he's doing by not pushing out. I think he's sagging way too much there, and I think he's just giving up prime ice. And the bumper at that point is well covered, and you have that weak side help. So I didn't like Ekholm at all on that goal, guys. But having said that, it's still a shot that I'd like to see Jarry out and more square and more aggressive on. So, I think the two of them probably I look at on that goal and think, hey, both those guys need to play that better. And on the other power play goal, I actually don't like McDavid's route to begin with. I think Connor McDavid tries to cheat a little bit on the pass as he starts to wedge down. Okay, he wedges down here, right here. See that one step to the outside that he takes in order to sort of try to cut that pass off to the outside, right? Keep watching him there, okay? To me, now Ekholm gets caught and he's not really able to, re-gap himself to this play, right? And then he gets beat into the middle. Ekholm, in my opinion, he dragged himself out because I don't like the way McDavid lost his body position. Connor loses the inside right there, right? Connor has to help seal that lane off. So that's where I say I point my finger at both of them in that scenario, because I feel like neither of them are on the same page. And I feel like it's that one little split second where you try to cheat for that pass. You lose that lane to the inside when all the dangerous sites on a power play is to the inside and to the middle, right? And Gauthier, Granlund, those guys, that's where those guys make their money. So I didn't like Ekholm there, Ty, but I didn't like McDavid there either. I think he cheated and he gambled and he got beat with it.
And he's been doing a lot of that in this series, to be fair, which maybe it's a product of him being not 100%, but I also think there's a part of this, Colby, and I know I'm kind of hogging the questions here, Liam, so I apologize. But I think there's a part of this too, Colby. We heard Connor McDavid say at the end of the regular season that the regular season's mundane for us. It doesn't matter. And I sit there and I go, how can that be your mindset? Because now we're in the playoffs, and they're playing like this is the regular season. And they almost sometimes have this aura of they're too cool for it. They're like, we know we're going to, we don't need to celebrate. We don't celebrate goals because we're supposed to score. And it's all this stuff. I think part of this is the attitude from the top down of this team all year has quite honestly been pretty bad. And now we're sitting here in the playoffs and they aren't playing. You watch every series and then you watch this one. There are no scrums. There aren't that many big hits. Yeah. There's no passion.
That's why I'll go back to my first comment. This might be the wake-up call that they need. And again, I know it makes for a long summer. And at the end of the day, I was thinking about it today. If Edmonton loses, if Utah wins, if Colorado won, and then Dallas wins, it's a weird group of these warm Sunbelt teams. We need Edmonton. I think we need Montreal. I hate not having Toronto in the playoffs. Canada elevates the playoffs because of the buildings. The buildings in Canada, as good as Philly is right now in a playoff series, the Bell Center, Rogers, it's not the same. It just isn't. Anybody who's lived through both can tell you that, right? The people that'll get angry are the people that have never been to the other. So I don't like the trend that we're seeing here. But again, like, this may be the season where Connor and the Oilers need to take a step back in order to get over the hump and take a step forward. And that's why I'm sitting here and I'm just saying, look, I still think they can come back, but you just maybe are out of gas, guys. Like, it's last call here, and your credit card is pretty much maxed out over the last 36 months of playing this game and going the distance. So I'm not. I hope I don't sound like I'm coping with disappointment, because it's at least I don't. That's not my want here. I don't want to sound like I'm coping, but I do truly believe that, like, this just looks like a team that's not getting to the top gear. The tank, it doesn't look like they have that playoff wind that we've seen them pick up in years previous, where, look, going into playoffs, that's what I said, Tyler. I said, you know what? Regular season, who cares? We know this team. 3 years in a row, they flipped a switch. Why am I going to sit here and make the same mistake and think somebody's knocking them out in the first round? I'm not doing that this year. So I have no problem eating my words on that this year, betting on the Edmonton Oilers.
Mm-hmm. Last one from me, Colby. There was a conversation after the first two games of, like, is Chris Knoblauch being outcoached? And it wasn't really something I was buying into. The series was tied at 1-1. A lot of the numbers were suggesting Edmonton was a better team. But after these two games in Anaheim, it feels like Joel Quenneville just kind of took a stranglehold on this series himself. And do you believe that? Do you think Knoblauch is kind of losing it a little bit here in these past couple of games?
Well, let me ask you, Liam, has he made decisions that you didn't agree with? Like, has he made personnel decisions you didn't like? Remember, they didn't have Dickinson. He was handed this goaltending tandem. He was handed a goaltending mess. You know what I mean? Like, I let's just be fair here and say, like, you lose Dickinson to injury. That's an important player that you went out, you brought in, and you expected to play a certain role. And when he does play, he's effective, right? So, like, what other decisions has he made that you're looking at going, that's not the right decision? Because at the end of the day, like, a lot of getting, quote unquote, in or out coached in the playoffs has to do with personnel decisions, right? And lineup decisions that are made before the puck drops. So I wouldn't expect anybody to be able to out-coach Joel Quenneville with the Stanley Cup runs, the experience, the wins, the Hall of Famers. But I don't think it's fair to sit here and say Knoblauch is, like, getting torched here by Joel Quenneville. At the end of the day, Connor McDavid has not been the best player in the world by a mile in this series, right? I mean, like, let's start there. He just hasn't been. And he's probably banged up. Leon, who's been playing well, missed a shitload of time, probably why he's got more juice than other people, right? Because he did miss all that time. So I don't know if that's a fair thing to say. I do think he's gone if they lose in this round. I do. You got Stan, who's going to want to bring in his own guy, okay? And I think he's as good as gone if they lose this round. I mean, the owner doesn't care about spending money. No. He'll spend it. So, which you want an owner. So I don't know if I really believe that, Liam, but I do believe he's gone if they lose. No doubt about that.
Do you think Bruce Cassidy should be the guy? He seems like the only legit NHL coach that's available, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, more people will be available, but I do. I think he's the right guy. I played 4 years for him. I absolutely think he's the right guy. And I know this might sound crazy. I think he can even help. I think he can make even Connor McDavid 5% better. I'm not saying more than that, but I think he could find another 5% out of Connor McDavid. And I think he could find another 5% out of Leon Draisaitl. I think if you are knocking on the door and you have those two players, he's your guy. The only thing that scares me about Bruce in Edmonton is the goaltending situation, because he's not afraid to call a goaltender out. I have witnessed it firsthand. I have been in the locker room for that firsthand. Bruce will, he does not pull punches for anybody. He would call out Patrick Waugh if he was his goaltender. There is an accountability factor with Bruce Cassidy that you don't get in a lot of places. And that's one of the reasons he wears thin. But if you want the guy who's ready to get you over the hump, it would be him. And I think he would jump. I mean, like, jump at the opportunity to come there and win a cup with Connor McDavid. He's a competitor. He's as straight as you can get he's as straight a shooter as you can get. And I would think he would literally be foaming for that opportunity, knowing him. And like I said, 4 years with him. Okay. He's the guy.
I'm in.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm in too.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
But
Colby.
by the way,
by
the way, be careful with what you like on social media, boys. That's it. That's always a given. That's always a given. Right?
Yeah, that's why I have burner accounts.
Yeah. Liam'd up.
Me and Amber don't fight. I love how you started with that.
We don't. We really don't.
No,
Who could fight with Amber? She's a saint.
Exactly. And that doesn't even say anything about me. I'm also a saint.
You're not on her level, but you're a hell of a human being. That's for
All
sure.
right. I'm booked in to join Morning Cup of Hockey tomorrow at 7:30 Mountain. So, Colby, I will see you then.
All right, pal. See you guys. See you, Liam.
Colby. See ya.
Colby Cohen. He's winning over some people in the chat, too.
Yeah.
Which you like to see. You like to
That's
see
good.
that.
As you should. Colby's a great guest.
Time for a new edition of Liam's Board.
Yeah, let me get my headphones out.
Liam's Board is brought to you by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Your home for great performance. Your home for a great happy hour. $6.25 drink specials, all beer. Select premium well highballs. Select premium wine available at Tap 25 Center Bar, Onyx, and on the casino floor. Happy hour goes from Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That is 10 happy hours in a row. 10 hours, yeah. Also, 50% off the entire menu at Tap 25 from 2 to 5, 7 days a week. Those are unbelievable deals, and it's all happening at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Liam's Board. I hope this puts... you're going to keep the picture of the Queen up?
Liam's Board will be rebranded in the summer. We have discussed this through Liam's Board.
Yeah, it'll be called Liam's Board. And if you don't know the difference, you will later.
Yeah,
but
soon
Liam's
enough.
Board will become Liam's Board.
All right. There is a reason I wanted to do this at the end of the show. And it's to build a little bit of optimism heading into tomorrow's big game. The big game. And this is why.
Wow, I'm fascinated to know where you're going with this today.
Okay. So, Liam's Board. First entry. JT Miller's last-minute goal against Vancouver, against the Oilers, whatever year that was. Made it 3-2 in the game, I think it was. 3-2 series for the Canucks. All hope was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Things did not look good. The Oilers, questionable goaltending decision going into game 6, that would have been.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, went back to Skinner. They won this. They won the next game. They won the series.
Yep.
Don't forget
Won the next
that.
game quite convincingly, I'd add.
6-1?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Again, I don't remember the year on most of these, but Trevor Moore's overtime winner. Oilers went down 2-1, I believe it was, at this point in the series. It might have been 3-2. I can't remember. 2-1, because Zach Hyman got the overtime goal the next game. Oilers came back and they won this series. It's an important piece of information here. Doom was on. Things were not looking good. Here's another one for you all. 2006, Joe Thornton scored the overtime winner to put the San Jose Sharks up 2-0. Was that the second round, I think it was?
Mm-hmm.
Oilers came back and won, 4-2 in that series?
Correct.
No hope. No one believed.
You're grossly mismanaging the space on Liam's board today.
Well, I only had 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only did 4. So that was a big moment.
Okay.
The Oilers were down. They obviously went to the Cup final. And last but not least, you'll remember this one because I'll say it. Things were looking pretty bad when this goal went in. And this one was early. And there was a lot of optimism after something happened. But when Philip Deneau made it, what was it, 6-5, 5-4, whatever it was, 6-5, I think. The Oilers were down 1-0, obviously went down 2-0. They were moments away from going down 3-0. But they ended up coming back and winning that series, what was it, 4-2?
Yeah.
The point is,
You never know.
you never know. And this series ain't lost. Someone put it in there earlier. You need 4 games to win a series. The Anaheim Ducks only have 3. Edmonton only has 1, but that's besides the point. They can come back. They can do it. And I would argue that this team on paper is probably better than what all of these teams were on paper. And the Oilers figured it out. And tomorrow night, the Oilers have, as Bob Stofford once said, opportunity lies ahead for this team to become legends. He didn't say the last part. The first part was
Yeah, but
you
it's
get the gist.
It's like the Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky, Bob Stauffer, Liam Horrobin.
Yeah, it's similar. Don't count them out. Series ain't over. There's a lot of games left. We'll see what happens here. So there you go. There's 4 examples. If you want some other ones, when they got smoked 6-3 in Game 1 last season against Dallas. I know they didn't win the series, but they were down 3-0 against Florida and made a hell of a series. Carolina, they were down in 06.
Yeah.
There's many if you go through. You can find them. Even when I think it ended up being Jack Eichel's goal in that last second against the Oilers a few years ago. I know the Oilers were up 2-1, but my God, all we heard about was, well, just let Vegas right back in. Well, the Oilers went on and won 2 straight and won the series. They actually didn't allow a goal the rest of the way. So, there you go. As we say here at Oilers Nation, hope will never die. So there you go. Liam's bored. Only 4 this week, but I think it needs to be done. What will I do on Wednesday? Well, that'll be determined on the basis of the result. I'll just do all the series I ended up losing. There you go.
Liam's bored. All the moments why hope will never die.
Let's figure it. Let's hope.
I mean, I will say this. They won't lose this series in 7 games. If you get to 7, you're winning.
Right. I thought you meant like, yes, I see what you're saying. Agreed.
Mistaken Mexican, $20. Hope will never die. It ain't over till it's over. We've seen them within a goal of winning the cup after being down 3-0 to Florida. They got this. Yeah, all of our super chats for the Ben Stelter Foundation. Thank you very much, Mistaken Mexican.
Shout out Percy yesterday, obviously on the live.
He was awesome.
He
must be one of those people who like can't watch the show live every day because he was so active in the YouTube yesterday.
I've seen him around in the chats and such, but
he's a huge pre and post.
Right, that makes sense then,
so he
right?
must not be able to. Yeah, he must watch the show later.
Yeah, so there you go. Tomorrow,
let's go.
Game 5.
Game 5.
Do or die.
It's somehow like after the way Game 1 went, man. If you told me this series could end in 5 games, I would have had this grin on my face. I would have been like, hell yeah, it's gonna end in 5 games.
That's why it is important to celebrate the wins throughout the playoffs, because you truly never know when the last one comes.
Yep.
Like I think of what that been game. Oh, that is not good.
The Queen's fallen.
That is not good. London Bridge is down. London Bridge is down.
She landed upright, though, so that could be a good
Yeah,
end.
that's kind of weird.
Fuck. I can't even think of what I was going to say anymore. I can't believe that just happened.
All right. Well, you good?
No.
No, you're not. You're not. I think we're going to wrap up the show on that note. Shout out to Colby. Shout out to DJ. 2 great guests today to kick off our week.
Yeah.
Hopefully we got a few more coming. Hopefully we got a few more game days. Hopefully tomorrow. It's not going to be the last one. They're going to win tomorrow. Home ice. They are not losing this thing on home ice. Right?
Totally.
Better tune in to pre and post because it could be your last wheel opportunity.
Yeah. Wheel was big. Wheel had Kapanen first goal last night.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was nuts.
Plus 2,800 and plus 425 for an anytime because I doubled down.
Damn. All right.
Shooter, I do not believe a word that comes out of your fingers on this show.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that at all. All right, that's a wrap on today's edition of the show, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. The weather's getting better. The hockey's going to get better. Hope will never die. Enjoy. We'll see you all tomorrow. Noon Mountain. Oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.